Here's yet another late NES title that I wasn't aware of until just recently. Wacky Races, developed by Atlus and released in North America and Japan. A game based off the Hannah Barbera 1968 Wacky Races cartoon series starring Dick Dastardly and his snickering sidekick Muttley. Unlike the title, this isn't a racing game, but holy hell, check out the title screen. This blew me away first time I saw it. The plot is simple. Dick Dastardly is chasing a pigeon naturally when he crashes and needs assistance, and so it's up to Muttley to save him through 3 worlds of platforming action. The game itself is really well done with some beautiful graphics that replicate the look of the cartoon series, and Muttley controls just perfectly. As he navigates his way through each level, the little dog will collect gems, extra lives and most importantly bones. Collecting these shuffles through Muttley's weapon meter at the bottom of the screen and allows him to either throw bombs, use a bark projectile which is surprisingly useful, a set of wings that help him float for a few seconds in the air, allowing him to get across larger gaps, and this also means that there's an element of strategy involved, as deciding which weapons to use in different situations can speed up or slow down a boss fight. Speaking of bosses, Muttley faces members of the Wacky Races crew at various points during the game, such as Penelope Pitstop, the Heavy Mob, the Slag brothers and the Gruesome twosome, to name a few. Each boss attacks you in their car and they all have differing patterns, which gets slightly more difficult the further you get through the game. The fights at first can be really challenging, but often it's just a case of sticking and moving. There are 3 worlds in total: Hip Hop, Splish Splash and Go Go America. What I like about Wacky Races is that it's just a straightforward, really well made platform game and it's not overly complicated. The little cutscenes where Dick Dastardly constantly gets into trouble and admonishes Muttley for laughing actually had me laughing along, and I really enjoyed myself with this game. The enemies are also interesting and diverse and plentiful. I really enjoyed the knight chess pieces who, just like in a game of chess, waits for you to make your move before he tries to attack you. Genius. Now the enemies respawn in this game, but it's not overly done and works well, ensuring things are slightly challenging within the confines of this game. Whilst this isn't the hardest platformer in the world, a typical player should be able to get through the game in a couple of hours. It's just so much fun, extremely rewarding with extra lives, gems and bones scattered everywhere. Although the controls are perfect when Muttley is platforming, when it comes to swimming, Atlus decided to map the controls so that you use the direction pad solely to swim around, so that you're free to attack enemies with your weapons. It's a little strange at first, but you'll soon adapt to it. The music is some of the best NES chip tunes I have ever heard, and this being a late title, Atlus, like most developers at the time, pushed the NES to again create some gorgeous visuals and effects. So, is there anything that I didn't like about Wacky Races? Well, that's a tough one to answer. I only had a few problems, such as certain items being almost impossible to get, particularly at this point here, when every time I would go for it, a fish would come and kill me. Also, some of the birds on this same level drove me absolutely nuts, and so you can't always take for granted that you can just bypass certain enemies. This is a short game and could have done with maybe a few more worlds, but for what it is, Wacky Races is definitely one of the best late release games for the NES. It's funny, retains that Hannah Barbera humour and charm, and Muttley's sniggering is actually really amusing, and he makes a great platform hero in his own right. In conclusion, Wacky Races is simple, easy to pick up and play, addictive and most of all fun. If you want to play something different, then it's highly recommended. I played this on the 150 games in one emulation cartridge I got with my NES, as the game itself was never released in the UK. Such a shame, as again this would have blown my mind when I was a kid. Play it any way you can, however, and you won't be disappointed. Thank you for watching my review. If you have enjoyed it, then smash that like button and subscribe, because you'll really be helping my channel to grow, and you'll also be instantly notified when I upload a new video. Until next time, take care.